A special tree grows hidden. The tree of life. They say whoever drinks of its sap will live forever.
The dark side of eternity is something few dare to truly imagine. When we think of eternity, our minds immediately travel to images of infinite beauty, peace, heaven, and endless rewards. But what if I told you there is another side? A side that no one told you about, a side that most people prefer to ignore because it is uncomfortable, disturbing, and even scary. Eternity, as we know it, is not just light. It carries with it a shadow that most people avoid facing, but which is always present, silent, invisible, waiting for the moment to reveal itself. And understanding this dark side can change the way you see life, death, and everything in between. Imagine for a moment that you awaken not in a sparkling paradise, but in a dimension of absolute silence, a place where time exists differently, or perhaps not at all, a space where everything you are, all your memories, feelings, and regrets are exposed, without distractions, without the possibility of hiding. This is where the dark side of eternity manifests itself, not with flames or screams, but with a total awareness of what you did, what you didn't do, what could have been and wasn't. An infinite mirror that reflects not only yourself, but every choice that shaped your existence. Contrary to what many stories tell, the torment of eternity does not require physical pain. It can exist in the simple act of realizing that every second, every decision, and every emotion were carried forever, that nothing can be erased. There is no rest, no forgetting. Eternity has infinite memory, and it does not forgive. Every petty gesture, every cruel word, every wasted opportunity, all remain crystallized in the fabric of the universe. And this realization is, in itself, a weight few can bear. It's curious how religions and philosophies have tried to grapple with this idea. Hell, damnation, the final judgment, all are attempts to give form to something that is essentially incomprehensible to the human mind. But if we look closely at the ancient texts, we will realize that eternity is not just reward or punishment. It is a consequence. It is the manifestation of choices taken to the extreme, of actions carried to their limit, with no possibility of return. And therein lies the dark side, and the absolute responsibility that each being bears for their own existence. And if you're thinking this is just theory, think again. We all know people who, even when they're alive, seem trapped in an endless cycle of psychological suffering, regret, and emptiness. Eternity doesn't need physical death to manifest itself. It begins to operate while you still breathe, while you still walk among the living. The dark side of eternity is a state of mind, a prison of our own making, fueled by our inability to reconcile our actions with the awareness of who we truly are. When sacred texts speak of eternal punishment, eternal fire, or the lake of fire, they are describing something far beyond the literal. Fire, destruction, and the absence of rest are metaphors for irreversible consequences, for choices that cannot be undone. And when you understand this, you realize that eternity is not just about where you go after death, but about what you are building now in every moment of your life. Every decision you make shapes not only your immediate destiny, but your eternal space, the way you will exist when time finally unfolds. And the scariest part is that while everyone dreams of the light and eternal reward, few look at the shadow. Few realize that every act of indifference, every moment of hatred or selfishness, every choice to live in the comfort of ignorance, creates a space within themselves that is, in fact, a preview of the dark side of eternity. It is a reality that cannot be seen with the eyes, but with the conscience. It is the absence of what really matters. It is complete loneliness. It is the perception that even surrounded by life, you are isolated from everything that gives meaning to existence. And if you haven't regretted it yet, don't worry. That's the beauty and terror of eternity. It's infinite, but it also demands responsibility. Each moment is an opportunity to change, to redirect, to illuminate one's own shadow. The dark side isn't inevitable, but it is persistent. It waits patiently, silently, until you decide to face it. And it is precisely this choice that separates those who live consciously from those who lose themselves in illusions. The climax of all this reflection is simple, yet profound. The dark side of eternity isn't somewhere far away, beneath the earth, or in the flames of a metaphorical lake. It's here now within each of us, reflected in our actions, thoughts, and feelings. He is the part of us that ignores the truth, that rejects the light, that chooses denial over responsibility. And it is only when we look to him without fear that we begin to truly understand eternity. And that's why it's so important to reflect on what it means to live. Every act of kindness, every act of courage, every decision to love instead of hate, to forgive instead of punish, to understand instead of condemn, builds a different path, a path where eternity can be light, clear, and full of meaning, where the dark side is not destroyed, but transformed, where the shadow does not disappear, but is integrated with the light, creating balance, awareness, and freedom. Ultimately, the question you need to ask yourself isn't where you'll go after death. The question is, how are you living now? Are you feeding the dark side within yourself, or are you building something that resists the darkness? Because eternity isn't just some distant future. It's now, it's here, and every choice matters. And when you understand this, you will realize that true power is not in avoiding death or escaping judgment, but in living in such a way that the shadow of eternity cannot reach you. If this video made you think, if it made you uncomfortable or inspired, leave a like. Comment below what you believe about the dark side of eternity, whether it's real, symbolic, or something we only feel within ourselves. And if you want to continue exploring these mysteries with me, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell, because in the next videos we will dive even deeper into this topic and discover together what it really means to exist forever.